We're going to be kicking off in a few moments. They're just going through the ads. Just a reminder that I can't play any audio from the Masters Coliseum apart from when they're in-game, because the streams are completely littered with copyrighted music, so having to try and avoid that. We'll just be muted until we get in-game. I am just finishing up my lunch, so I'm just going to be a minute or so, but it'll be a little bit quiet while they get going, and then we'll get into it and dive right into some Starcraft today. Hope you're all feeling good. Hope you're all ready for some games. Excited to have some Masters Coliseum action on our tables once again. Lovely. These are best of 3 round robin groups. This is our prize pool payout. Today, obviously, group stage, trying to get from top 8 into a good position for group stage day 2 tomorrow, and then move from top 16 into top 8 for the playoff bracket in January. Group A saw Cyril and Estrella advancing. There really was a bit of a turn of events in that group. And today we've got Maxpax, Skillous, Reynor, and Rogue. It was a pretty fun set of matches as well. Fun group here in Group B of the Masters Coliseum Day 1. Only 3 best of 3s a day in this event. I know. Crazy. Alright, looks as though we're going to get into it fairly quickly. The players are here. Looking ready to play some Starcraft 2. If I've ever seen them ready to play Starcraft 2, this is definitely what they look like. Amazing. Alright, guys. I'm going to kick this off a little bit of PvP to start the day with Maxpax versus Skillous. Obviously saw this one in our tournament the other day, and Skillous did get the better of Maxpax. Can he do it a second time here when the stakes are even higher? When the stakes are even higher. Alright, PvP time. Like I said, I can unmute once we get in game. I just have to be super ready to mute when we get out of it. Again. Hopefully I remember today, because I've not been doing the best job remembering to do that. We've gotten demonetized 2 out of 2 streams for the Masters Coliseum so far. I'm absolutely determined today to not let it happen. I'm absolutely determined. I swear down. So, we get into this PvP action. Skillous just had some good aggression against Maxpax the other day, put himself in some good positions. I would actually say Skillous was winning all 3 of the games that they played. I do think he made some mistakes, and I do think he messed up a little bit at times. Specifically, that game, he was very far ahead, and he let DTs really just draw his opponent back into it, so if we can try and stay clear of that happening, then I really do think we're in for a very good time here as Skillous. So we'll see what happens, see what we get. Let's just take a few moments early on, get ourselves into this, and see what will be taking place. One pylon already on the left-hand side is going to get set up as well. So you're seeing that Nexus coming through. This is going to be that fast Nexus then on the side of Maxpax, while Skillous is going into his Stargate. So we'll see what Skillous tries to get done from there. It's going to be seeing that Stalker Chrono boosted along. It's going to be seeing the Sentry sitting on the natural. Nexus continuing through Stargate building. And again, a couple of Stalkers in the Warp Gate continue to come about as well. So just all of that on the way in for the moment. Get all of this settled down right about now. And we'll see where we go. I mean, Robo Facility on the way from Maxpax. He plays safe. Nexus finally on the way from Skillous. He will have those Oracles try and net him some damage throughout the course of this. So definitely imagining that that is going to be able to do a little bit of work here throughout the course. And let's just have that Stalker continue to press forward. He's going to see the Stalker and Sentry in return. We'll push back a little bit. Let's see a couple of gateways dropping down again. The Twilight Council continues up as well. Oracle dives in. A couple of probes go down immediately. So 2 probes die right off the bat. Damage will be done. See the Oracle continues to move around here just for a second. Obviously, already getting 3 probes, so nice from Skillous, starting to get some damage done early. Going to get in for 4 and 5. And making up for what is a later expansion from himself. He is still 3 workers down, so Skillous is still down on workers, still needs to do a little bit more work here to really play catch-up altogether. But steps in the right direction, I'd say, so far. I want to see those 2 Oracles flying back over to the right-hand side now. Like I say, they will continue to be a factor. I like that Maxpax puts a hallucination on one of them, just keeping track, knowing where those Oracles are at any point. Just knowing where they might ping in from next might help you to control kind of where we're going in this. So, a couple Stalkers still going to go back, push the hallucination away. Moving over again, the Nexus coming around. We'll see that probe continuing up as well here currently. It'll take a couple moments. And the blink on the way through, so just bring that out as well. It's going to be seeing a few Stalkers gathering together, a couple Oracles still moving about a little bit. Again, you're pretty much always just going to be active with these Oracles, looking for the chance and looking for the opportunity to get in and to get some damage done. If you can do that, then incredible, you know, amazing. So I imagine that that's going to be kind of our goal. If those Oracles can stay active, I mean, they're an investment for the entire game, right? An investment for the entire game, so if you can, you know, make them succeed initially, you can really kind of, like I say, have a very good time in the long run as well. Stalker's going to come pushing over. And it's going to start hitting that Nexus. A few Stalkers and a Sentry from the bottom side going to show up as well. No live pick of Maxpax. No, Maxpax is a secretive fellow. Nobody will see what he is meant to look like. Did you have the Immortal Insto coming up as well? You see that hallucination still moving around, seeing if there's anything else going on. You can see those few Stalkers moving through also here. You can see a little bit more of what's happening for a moment or two. Stalker's still going to go back the other direction. We do trade out here just a little bit. And as we do have, obviously, the Stalker count of... Maxpax looking okay. That's a nice stasis ward, though. Actually catching a few Stalkers, an opportunity perhaps for Skillous to come forward now and maybe take advantage of that. Doesn't look like he'll be able to. Supply-wise, I mean, numbers are very similar across the board, so it is moments like a stasis ward like that that could maybe make a difference more than anything else, right? So... Stalker's going to come through. I mean, these Stalkers get free now, so they're actually going to become a factor straight away. No problem at all. Going to get straight into this fight. We're going to run back to try and utilize some more stasis wards. Could really do with those helping out, but the detection is there, so we're actually killing the stasis wards instead of popping them. That helps as well. Stalkers continue to come through, trying to hit that immortal as best we can. And continue with this fight. Does Skillous have enough? I do not think so. I think Maxpax is going to be comfortable here to hold on. He steps away, but only because stepping away is something he can absolutely do and still be absolutely fine in this game. I think this is absolutely just going to be going the way of Maxpax as he looks very, very good here in this current game of StarCraft 2. The open game of the day. I mean, he's still running backwards, but like I say, it's mostly just out of like proportion. It's not really out of necessity as much. I absolutely think he's going to be fine here, kind of no matter what. Prism coming back out as well. Another stasis gets popped, doesn't really do anything, so unfortunately we don't get any value out of that one. Just seeing how our Stalker's trading once again. Just the fact we've got an Immortal mixed in there allows you to just obviously deal with this so easily too. Just having that Immortal pinging away counts for so much as well. He definitely adds up over time, that Immortal damage. And again, Skillous getting a few Zealots in there, which is helping him to kind of tank a little bit and just sort of prolong the life of span of his army. And now the Oracle's going to get on the mineral line as well. I mean, this is the best, I'd say, that Maxpax Skillous has been able to do, but he's also lost a ton of probes back at home. So he's kind of having his best moments while he's also having his worst moments. Down a bunch of probes at home. That means his opponent has had a whole bunch of success as well. And yeah, I think fair to say that this one is absolutely getting out of hand. Skillous is looking as though he's going to be dropping the first game, and Maxpax will be opening this best of 3 in the right kind of a way. So yeah, Oracle going to activate. A couple of probes are still going down. A little bit more damage done here. The Prism is going to just recall out of there as well. So just going to get the heck out for the moment. Stalkers, so let's continue to come about here. Just going to be seeing the pylon and the gateway going down, so really just dismantling the control that Skillous has had on this game until very recently. The Stalkers come through, they get a little bit more damage done. Now going to knock our way through some rocks on that right-hand side as well. The simulating cannon still building up. The Zealot will get chased down. I mean, Maxpax is coming across the map with a 20 supply lead. It's his turn to be the aggressor. And maybe Skillous do something to sort of nullify this? Can he take some sort of defensive layup? Problem is he's defending the gold base, right? So he's kind of out in the middle of the nowhere having to defend this, so that's not exactly ideal. Losing gateways and production here as well is really not going to be doing you any favors at all. Stalkers and Zealots continue to chase those Stalkers, really being hunted down. So kind of hard to think that this is really going to go anywhere but in Maxpax's favor as he leaves a few Zealots on the other side of the map. Probes continue to fall. Skillous losing complete control here on Neon Violet Square. The gold-based gambit has not worked out as the defense from his opponent was honestly just a little bit too good. I think at the end of the day, it's kind of what it comes down to, right? The defense was very, very solid. And that's definitely helped us to just make them sure that Maxpax is in control. And also, I think Maxpax found really good moments to kind of attack him as well. I feel like he found really good moments to sort of go across the map with a few units and just get some damage done. And while there was 1 or 2 steps into stasis wards that were a bit heavy, Skillous never was able to capitalize on those, and Maxpax was then very good at nullifying any stasis wards that Skillous would have been able to capitalize on. So, again, just across the board. Very well played game from Maxpax. He's going to be taking this game 1. I think that one is, like I say, a fairly safe thing to be stated at this point. I don't think we're getting ahead of ourselves. GG gets called, and Maxpax is going to take the opening map of Group B. Goes up 1-0 in this best of 3. King's Cove gonna be map number 2. Big map's actually being played. Mute. Oh my goodness, I'm so bad at this. Literally demonetized in the first 30 seconds of the stream. Yeah. One game probably demonetized already. I just suck at, like, I probably should just give up trying. But I should probably just give up trying, but like, god damn it. I'm so used to just being able to come out of a game and just chill. God damn it. Sure, whoever made this 10-second loop is making millions off the YouTube. Ay. Ay. Taking the Dragon Ball of. Yeah, the layout's pretty cool for this edition of the Master Coliseum. Some cool graphics. I'm going to take a moment or two. Get back to it in just a second, as obviously we get into King's Cove for our second map. You know what it is? It's even easier for me to mute now as well because I've figured out a way. I'm just going to do it on my like mixer. But jeez, just remembering to do it ain't easy, man. Seriously. Disruptor balls flying all over the place. Maybe that's what disruptors are. Maybe they're Dragon Balls. Maybe disruptors are just really misunderstood. They're like, no, if you collect all of us, you get to make like a really special wish. You get to do anything you want. Why doesn't anyone love us? If you didn't want that clean, I know. I get it. They're obviously providing a, I mean, they're providing like music and stuff. I mean, it would be great if it just wasn't copyrighted music. The worst thing is, it's not even like it's like a popular song or anything. It's literally some loop that you can like pay for. You know, like this is some loop that you can pay for the rights to. And if you just paid for the rights to it, you can just use it. But I have no idea what it is, and I have no idea how to, do that, right? So... We're coming across the map. It'll take a few moments to get settled in here. You having a pylon on the bottom side, so Skillous is going to stay proxy heavy. Keeping that probe there as well, so definitely has plans and intentions to utilize it on the other side of the map. On King's Cove, there's a big map. He's actually going to proxy a second gate, so just immediately going into a very aggressive game right now. So there we get straight into this. Just seeing our Cybercore coming online, that gateway coming up. We'll see what Maxpax will do. He's going to go Stargate, so at least we'll have the Stargate to help him out initially. Music Rise is such a mess. Well, I think it's just crazy. It's like, we play, like, I mess up and play, like, let's say, altogether, like, in the previous streams, I maybe played less than 3 minutes of the music, right? Maybe in the first one I played a bit more, but in the second stream I probably played, because, like, it would be playing, and then after 20 seconds I'd realize, and the streams are pretty short anyway. So on a 3-hour stream, we played less than 3 minutes of this repetitive music track in the background that no one really actually cares about, and apparently that allows them to monetize any money that comes from that entire stream. All money then goes to to that little bit of, like, it's just crazy, no? It's just like, it's just a mess. You're right. It's just a mess. Skillous is going to fight, so it is going to be going about for a couple of moments. Just have ourselves the couple Stalkers gathering together. We look to see where things will be. Prism on the way up, Pile on the way up. Voidra and the Warp Gate continue to come through as well, so we get that going. The Nexus continues in also. We continue to bring that all by. Let's just see those few Stalkers unloading. Going to go after a couple of units for a few moments. Nothing too surprising just yet still. As you have the Oracle on the other side. Gets a couple of probes. Obviously, Skillous is setting up to attack. Maxpax does not have a lot here. The speed of this attack is definitely going to have a little bit of deadliness to it. And going to come straight in. He hits the battery initially, but doesn't get it, unfortunately, which would be nice to get the battery because then this Void Ray isn't healing. But there's a second battery too. I like that we've got the Prism early so that we can just trade the battery energy out while preserving your own units. I think that goes a long way to helping you out here. These Stalkers coming about as well, seeing if they can do anything in particular. Stalker's just going to show up again, a little bit more damage being done. Just going to be hitting some hits. Cell coming through as well. Voidra is still up in the sky. See the Prism unloading and reloading here for a couple of moments. Again, doing everything they can to keep this active. 3 probes going down. The Void Ray is stepping up. A couple of probes are going to be there. Stalker's going to be there as well. Those 2 Void Rays are already doing quite a lot of damage against this as Maxpax, right? So you're able to do quite a bit right from the very get-go. The Stalker's coming forward once more. Go back and forth a little further. Just going to be seeing the Stalker still trading out with those Void Rays. We are going to get the Nexus, so Skillous going to see some success here and takes a supply lead. This is the kind of way in which he was succeeding the other day when we were in our WardiTV Christmas Invitational playoffs, where Skillous made it all the way through to the finals. Going to step up. Island that will go down as well. I mean, obviously at this point, Skillous can continue to control the low ground. He's going to start going into his own Twilight Council back at home. He got into a position like this the other day, and what he didn't do was prepare against potential DTs, so I'd like to make sure he just has detection, just in case, but I think in the grand scheme of things, we're looking okay. Skillous going to go pick their way through that Cyber Core for a little bit longer. A little bit of extra damage being done for the moment. Do you have the, again, Blink coming up, Pile on the way in. Gonna be seeing again, Blink building up here, Cybercore and the Immortal on the way through also. The Oracle still also just flying about here currently. Void's definitely trying to do that thing as well, just for the moment. Just gonna see if these Stalkers coming across, obviously utilizing this Prism to really keep chasing in for some potential damage. Get rid of one of the Void Rays, the other 2 Void Rays still active though, and actually dealing a lot of damage, but you've got the Prism to avoid some of the shots. Now he can dive forward. Second Void goes down. The Immortal's going to be a big target as well. He's actually going to turn onto the Void Ray instead of continuing for the Immortal. Don't think it really matters. We're going to get everything, right? So we are going to get everything, and we're going to get the GG, and we are going to go to a Game 3 as the aggression of Skillous works out in Game 2. Just says, no, 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 you don't get to defend this as easily anymore. Not without that battery overcharge. GG. So that is going to be Skillous grabbing his second game. Like I say, going to be making a little bit of something out of this. Leyline's going to go for game number 3 right here. When upgrades continue to come by. Get ourselves settled on in. Yeah, I'm never gonna remember to mute it, guys. I've just given up. I'm gonna accept that we're gonna get demonetized. How is it fair to have one be on camera and one not? Probably because one told the organizers of the tournament why they cannot be on camera, and the tournament of the organizers deemed that that is okay. I'm sure if the other guys showed up and had a very good reason why they could not be on camera, that we would also allow them to not be on camera, you know? It's catchy, yeah, I know. It's just so, like, the game ends and the last thing I think of is gotta instantly mute the stream, you know? Like, this is not where my brain goes to at all, you know? I just, like, I don't know, I'm just so bad at remembering to do it. Don't know what else to say. Mustache goes plus 600 MMR. Nice. Huge for the opportunity to potentially win this. We've seen our Cybercore coming up. Zala continues on in for the moment as we take a few moments here. Get settled down. That probe nibbling about up the top side for a little while as well, just trying to see what we can do. Any updates on the replays? Yes, it's on my list of things to do. I will get into them as soon as I have a couple minutes on my PC. This morning I had to sort out some Christmas Eve game stuff. I'm pretty much all done with sorting tournaments out, so replay pack should be coming ASAP. Pretty much like the only thing I have admin-wise left to do right now. So, very soon. Stalker chasing down, and Probe gonna get a kill. As you see, Probe continues across. Robo facility coming up here from Skillous as he's just gonna go aggressive again. I mean, if it's working for you, why stop? At the end of the day, why stop what's already working? Don't really disagree with that concept. I think that's absolutely fine to kind of go for. You have the Nexus continue to come in. We get this ready to roll. You know what the other... I tell you why the other reason is that I've not remembered to mute is because I'm so used to casting these WTL streams or streams from the Chinese organizers. And for me, these streams are very chilled out because I just sort of sit here and I just sort of cast the games, you know? Like, I don't have to do any observing. I don't have to host any of the games. I just have to sit here and do the thing, right? And just cast the games. And so I'm so used to when I'm doing the clean feed to just sitting back and not having to do anything at all. The fact that now I actually have to, now I have to actually press buttons is like, my brain just doesn't register that, you know? Stalker's going to come about. Vortex moving around a little. I'm just going to be seeing a couple of shots still coming off. Stalker's going in, so we'll take some damage. A couple of Stalker's going to drop back down for a moment or so. As do have our He's getting ready to poke into the front of the natural. He is just going to look for some damage, some opportunity. I mean, this is where Skillous obviously has to start making some progress. If you don't make progress now, you're going to start getting in a lot of trouble very quickly. Promise you guys that much at the very least. As we do commit in, and we are going to send it a little. I mean, this is it from Skillous. He really needs to get value here. He needs to save those Stalkers. Good pickups. I think that's one of the most important things, to keep on picking up those units. Maintaining your units and keeping those alive is just so valuable in these scenarios. You got to get efficiency out of your forces, right? And that's honestly what I think Skillous did very well in that last game. Is he doing well enough with it here? As another Void Ray starts up, so that Void Ray count continues to just grow ever so slowly. More shots coming over. Just going to be seeing some damage there. More hits coming about as well. Shots coming through, Void Ray in the skies. We actually do have ourselves, I mean, it's a lot of Stalkers. One of the Void Rays still activated. Skillous does not care about this. He's going to attack in. He's going to go for that Void Ray. He's going to get it. Another Void Ray just showed up, though, which is kind of unfortunate. So I mean, the Stalker's going to continue to dive about here. And the Void Rays continue to chase, and looks as though they will get the cleanup on the next moment or two. Our Stalkers continue to come about as we resettle back down from this. Gonna try and push forward once again. A couple of shots coming about. It's gonna be seen, obviously. I mean, Stalker count is growing once more, so we continue to bring that up a little bit higher as best we can. Can it be enough? Oh, good force field. It's actually going to force Skillous to have to prism out of here much more quickly, in fact. That's going to hurt. There's a lot of the Stalkers going down. Skillous, yeah, you can see his reaction on the face cam. He is clearly knowing that that was not quite it. He knows that that is not going to be the sort of trades that helps him out good enough here. So, yeah, recognizing that he is, in fact, in some trouble. Yo, Lemoners, thank you so much for the 21-month resub. Appreciate it. Skillous is going to keep on trying, but I think the trades have just gone a little bit too heavily in favor of Maxpax. It's kind of fun, because this is kind of just one constant micro war, basically, in these kind of builds, so while it can be kind of like, well, it gets a little repetitive and so on, I do also think that the micro war that you get to see is actually pretty fun, to be honest, so I like it. Let's do have the Guardian Shield up here as well from the Sentry. Going to try and help out as best it can. Stalker's going to try and dive in, but again, just too many batteries as well. You're never going to drain the battery energy, so you need to be one-shotting. So many of your Stalkers are hurt already too. He didn't get the Nexus already, and if you try and get it now, the batteries will be putting some work in to heal it up as well, I would imagine. So I think just across the board, this one is running out of time here for Skillous, who gets another Void Ray. You can't blame him for continuing to try. I think, you got to absolutely just give it your best shot and keep on trying until you really have no units left, but we can obviously see the momentum continues to go in favor of Maxpax. And one of our favorites for this group is going to get out of this PvP scratched but not overly harmed. As he will obviously have lost a map, and that maybe has an impact in a round-robin group like this, but I wouldn't say it's end-of-the-world territory. Obviously, you lose a map, you get the series win. For now, you focus on winning the series, and then map score doesn't even matter at the end of the day, so yeah. Still keep moving over, as we just have probe there, going to get taken down as well, so he's going to be able to grab that. So that probe will flop. And the Stalker's just going to come stepping forward once again, attempt to see if there's anything in particular they might be able to get done. Answer is honestly not really. It does seem as though we're going to have ourselves a GG moment coming up sooner rather than later. I don't think we've really got much to hang on for here. You see our Stalker's coming back over the other direction, so it's going to be coming over for a couple of moments, take some steps across. Stalkers and the sentries gather together. You've seen, obviously, at this point, Maxpax is way too much. The fact he's confident enough to move forward like this tells you pretty much all that you need to know. This is going to be GG. And that is going to do it. So there you have it. Maxpax is going to take out the first series of the day. And he's going to go up against Reynor next. I mean, this is extremely exciting because I feel as though Reynor is, in my eyes, I mean, I think Maxpax versus Reynor is kind of a fight for first place in this group, just straight up already. I do think Rogue and Skillous can absolutely throw some spanners in the works, but to me, this is the most important match of the group from the outset, you know, in terms of just kind of looking out from the start. So, interesting to see it kind of come in as just the second matchup here already. And just getting put into place straight away. As we will take a moment or two and we'll be hopping on into this. Obviously, they usually have a little bit of break plus some highlights and stuff that they play, so we'll let that come through. We'll go from there. Awesome. Alright, guys. We're gonna get ready to kick this off into some more games very soon. See, like I say, I think we are gonna have probably a couple of minutes because they will do some highlights and stuff, but yeah, let's see what we get, I guess. Any predictions for the next series? As in, you want predictions turned on, or as in you want me to predict what you think is going to happen? Because I actually don't know. I honestly do not know what sort of state Reynor is in. If I'm going to be honest with you, like, I don't think Reynor is in the best shape of his Starcraft career. So my tendency is to go against Reynor in this one. Honestly, like, I don't really typically think it's smart to go against Reynor. I think Reynor is extremely good. But man, like, he's not given us much to kind of believe in lately, you know? So, against a Maxpax, he's in shape. I wouldn't say Maxpax's PvZ has given me, like, a ton to believe in either. So, I mean, you can look at it in a couple different ways, I guess. Yeah, I guess we can look at it in a couple different ways, but I'm not really, like I say, hopefully, I don't know. How dare I? I mean, quite easily, slowly. You show me where Reynor has played serious StarCraft 2 over the past few months, and I will take it all back. He looked strong yesterday on big brain bouts or against Spirit. I mean, sure, but I mean that's just a match. The thing is, like when I say Reynor looks good, like I don't think Reynor's ever going to be in trouble against the guys that he always beat in the first place. What I worry for Reynor, based on his current level, is that he's just not done enough to keep up with players like Clem or like Maxpax or like Cyril. You know, those guys at the very very top. That is where I think my issue comes from and my potential kind of concern comes from. So yeah. I may be very wrong. To me, I mean, this is where Reynor shows us otherwise, right? I think it's very fair to think that that's, to think the way that I'm thinking, and then to think that it'll be different based on, if he shows us a different kind of level in this series now, sure. I absolutely believe Reynor can bring it back too. I've just not seen that Reynor's been practicing or playing or showing interest in kind of getting better lately. I invite him to a tournament and he tells me to, he tells me, you think I'm playing StarCraft? Like, of course I'm not going to have any belief in him. So, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I can only have as much belief as is possible, Yeah. Like I said, I mean, I always think Reynor has a chance because he's just naturally extremely good, but against the Maxpax, yeah, we'll see. Like I say, Reynor's also very good at getting ready to play at a high level when he needs to, and this is obviously one of those scenarios where now he needs to. So, this becomes a, much nicer situation suddenly where, maybe he actually is practiced, maybe he is well set up, maybe he is ready to play some games, Absolutely can be the case, so. So that, TLDR, I don't really want to make a prediction because I feel as though Maxpax should win, but I absolutely know Reynor can show up and look better than I've seen him play. So yeah, I'm really up in the air in terms of what's going to happen. Up in the air. Focus on the void rate and gathering about. As this PvP highlights show us what happened. I mean, honestly, it was pretty impressive skills on King's Cove. I feel like he just wanted to replicate on Game 3, but Maxpax is so good at adjusting to the little things that you do in order to make it very difficult to go back to back, right? Like, he's actually very good at that. I'm actually surprised at how good at he is. Because, like I say, I think it's surprising just how consistent he can be with it. Are you making GameStop permanent YouTube strike? Yeah, this is not GameStop though. They're playing music right now. Yes, because this is just highlights, and they play music over the highlights. So yeah. I mean, we probably already got copyright striked for the day because I forgot to mute the first couple of times. But look, maybe if I practice today for the rest of today, maybe then tomorrow, maybe tomorrow we'll get it right. Maybe. One can dream that I'd be so smart. Don't know if I am. So yeah. Once the game comes up, we do get game sounds because in game they don't do anything. It's just between games. Anything between game is potentially copyright strikeable because they have no copyright fears in China. It's pretty crazy, right? It's just like the Chinese streaming sites and stuff are just like, oh, that's how the rest of the world's doing it. We don't care. What, we're using your music without permission? Who cares? We're a Chinese streaming website. We're not gonna give you any money. So what are you going to do? And everyone's like, I mean, great point. What are we going to do? You raise a fantastic question. Maxpax Reynor should be coming up soon, guys. Obviously, I think we've done a lot of our waiting around here already. We've done the highlights. They did their little ad section, so I think we should be able to go in just a few moments. It's still a bit washed. I don't think it's really fair to call anyone washed or anything right now because we're in a period of StarCraft 2 where it is the off season. So as long as it's still the off season, then yeah, no one's really washed because people are just not playing as much because they may be waiting for bigger events and so on. So yeah, until some bigger events consistently come around, I don't think players' levels are going to be a little bit more all over the place. Some people like playing for all the online cups. Some people have taken it a bit easy and stuff. Maybe use my own music playlist. Yeah, but that's the problem. Like, it's too difficult to be turning the music on and off. And lately, I've actually been using just Starcraft music because even my own playlist gets a little bit in trouble on YouTube every now and then, even though it shouldn't. So I've just not played music. I've just played Starcraft music in the background. But I use that for my own game. The problem is the way I'm trying to mute it today is I'm just muting all audio from my PC going out the moment the game ends, or in theory that's what I'm going to be trying to do. So if I do that, then I've got to like tab into well, basically if I do the other way to do it, I would have to tab into StarCraft, unmute it, and it's just a whole thing. So yeah, I know it's not ideal having no sound and stuff, but I can't really be bothered to fix it, honestly. So yeah. Have I spoken to Rogue in person? Not really. Whenever he's been at events, he'll wave and say hi, but he's one of the quieter guys from experience. Have a sign over my monitor as a reminder. I'm just not gonna look at it. Like you would think the music just coming on would be a reminder in itself, you know. I'm just not gonna look at it to be honest. I get hum background sounds. Yeah, I mean if you guys are that desperate for some additional audio here, look, I will do some Starcraft theme tune for you. Boom 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 I feel like we've gone off off Starcraft theme tunes, but this is why we're not providing the WardiTV humming soundtrack. Apologies, guys. Sorry, so sorry. You know what it is? If any bit of StarCraft music came on, I could probably hum along to it, but trying to hum it out of memory, not happening. It's the perfect time to tease my Christmas album. Hmm. Rocking around the disruptories. Yeah. We used to have we used to have at one point a bunch of meme potential Christmas StarCraft songs, you know. I can't remember what I actually can't remember what any of them were, to be honest. Yo, Zergburger, thank you so much for the 28-month resub. I can get a couple of you guys on the tree, I guess, while we are waiting here. So we had Lemoners coming in with the resub as well. Get that sorted out. These are long breaks. Look, when you only have 3 best of 3s in a day, you have to make sure the time between games is at an absolute maximum so that we're really making the most of the prime time StarCraft period that this event is being held in, okay? With breaks like this, you can almost justify doing 3 best of 3s in a day, you know? They're like, look, Wardy, we did 3 best of 3s and it took 4.5 hours. I'm like, yeah, well, yeah, I suppose that is not incorrect. You did indeed. And that's the last time you'll complain about us running 3 best of 3s in prime time. Yay, yay. Ay, ay, ay. Hello, guys. Lemoners and Zergberger, thank you so much for the resubs. As we are still waiting some games. You might be able to tell. Ay, ay, ay. The good news is Maxpax Reynor should be really fun. So that's nice. That is the good news. We have a very fun series about to happen when we get there. And it looks as though we might be getting there. Looks like Reynor's not going to have a cam either. Okay, the camless duo. The camless duo. Reynor's internet is shit. Also, I can't believe you just come in here and hate on a player's internet like that. Unbelievable. Hey, Starcraft. Back to it then, guys. Alright, welcome back. As we kick this off and we get this underway, we have ourselves Reynor versus Maxpax in this PvZ best of 3. Entry coming up. Some Chinese ads will come across the screen for a moment or two. We take a moment. As we get ourselves set up and get underway, it's going to be having ourselves the hatch in the pool coming up for the moment here. Get this underway right now. Get this all going. And we look to see what the plan is going to be from these guys as we get into some Protoss versus Zerg action. Here in today's Masters Coliseum Group B. Day 1, obviously. Day 2 tomorrow as well. 3 best of 3s a day. 6 best of 3s in total in this round-robin group. Gonna see our Depth Conan boosting out, the Stargate coming in. A couple drones and the Queen continue to come about as well. Gonna be seeing the drone continue to chase after the probe for a little bit. It's just gonna get across there. Bling's just gonna go in after the probe for a couple of moments. Depth will go chasing, just the Ling's coming about. Depth is on the move. Queen's just going to go in. Adept going to get chased about a little bit. We're seeing the Adept shading back out into the center of the map for a moment or two. Get that underway. All coming about, a bit more damage being done. See the Oracle diving in, a couple of drones will be taking hits. As our Ling spores and drone continue to come around there, just going to be seeing a couple of units going to pop out, and away they will go as we move on onto the map. Just going to be seeing the melee upgrade coming about as well, so get set up with that for just a few moments. I think the Adept's going to be there. The Oracles get pushed to the other way. It's going to be seeing the Ling's going to jump through. Probe's going to be taking a bunch of damage. So already a run by from Reynor going to be extremely successful. And it's exactly what you love to see from Reynor, right? That's the kind of playstyle he really grew up on. The Ling's running by, being super active, being super annoying. The sort of thing that we've just seen day in and day out from Reynor ever since he really kind of set foot into the professional Starcraft 2 scene. Got Oracle going to show up, just going to come and fire a couple of shots in as well. The Queen's going to be there, Oracle going to get chased the other way. So we're just going to move forward. The Adept's going to come about. Also just going to step in for a couple of seconds as we do have Maxpax looking to put some pressure on over on this side. Yeah, thank you so much. Squirrelich, how you doing? Coming in with a 32-month resub. Appreciate it. Thank you very much indeed. Hope you're doing well as our Oracles are going to help Maxpax's army stay alive here. The Queens will take a step forward, so they will try and get involved as well. See if they can maybe have some impact as the Lings continue to chase straight through. We've seen the Lings continue to go over to that right side, chasing those Stalkers down. We'll go hunting to play that cleanup here over the next couple of moments. So should be able to get that, should be able to take that out. Reynor in the end getting the cleanup, and not the most ideal scenario on the side of not the most ideal scenario on the side of Maxpax to lose out on all of those units. Just a little bit expensive. One's going to run about, just going to run straight up toward those Stalkers as well, trying to see if there's anything in particular that they can get done for the next couple of moments. Don't think that's necessarily going to be the case, though. Stalker still stepping forwards, just going to be seeing the Observer overhead as well. Continue to come across for the moment. Seeing again what we can do here. It's just going to be poking forward for a couple of the creep tumors, so creep will be taking some damage. And obviously the Stalker count now a lot higher with the Stasis Ward support. We are hoping that we can have a successful time pressing through. Maybe see the Stalker's going to trade a little bit. probes going down. And you see the Stalker still pushing forward as, I mean, the Ling Hydra has to take a step back towards the creep spread. Maxpax's supply is actually looking pretty good. Still losing probes on the other side of the map, so run by that once again. Reynor shows us is kind of one of his biggest strengths here. Absolutely succeeding in that regard as Stalkers and the Oracles come back over. Zealots coming about again. Just adrenal glands, size explains. All of that coming through as we speak. Just going to be having the Stalkers going to get there for the Overlord. We'll be able to take that out as well. So it's going to be another pick off. So Ling's just going to find a Colossus in the middle of the map, and that's lovely. We take whatever we can get right now, and a Colossus is a pretty free pick. A big unit that gets taken down with immediate effect, so it's going to help you out a lot. It's just going to be seeing the Stalkers continue to come about. The Stalker's actually getting caught. Oracle's not able to protect either, and you can definitely see that Maxpax is having some issues as Lurkers are here as well. Reynor's going to absolutely swarm this, and this is going to be one-sided from from Reynor. He's just going to absolutely crush. And maybe Reynor really is feeling it. Good. I'm glad. I wanted Reynor to prove me wrong, because like I say, I struggled to find a chance to believe in him coming into this. But I'd be very happy for him to show up and be really, really good, you know? And that is exactly what he does in this first game. He shows up, and he's really, really good. Right? So yeah, big fan of that. As we get ready to go into game number 2 in a couple moments, so straight away we are going to head into the next one. Cute, yep. God, why? I just suck at this. Why is it so difficult to remember to turn the sound? It's honestly just because we've done this clean feed for years without ever having to do anything, and so my brain is just not in production mode at all. I just can't do it. I just can't bring myself to think of what I need. Ay, ay, ay. Jeez. Oh, well. I'll get into our next game in a couple of moments. As obviously, game 2 will be on King's Cove. Big map, actually, so potential for some fun stuff to possibly happen there. We'll see what goes down. Yeah, again, going here on King's Cove. Ultra Love will be map 3. If we get to map 3, let's go in-game. So Maxpax versus Reynor. Game number 2, Speedy, once we're into the game phase of it, this whole thing. Reynor will be in the upper left of King's Cove. Maxpax will be in the bottom right. I do wonder if there's potential for this to actually turn into a very long game as well. Because obviously it's King's Cove. Reynor just showed no chill in that last game, but Maxpax will be able to defend much more easily on this map as well. To be fair though, Maxpax kind of played pretty aggressively himself. That's kind of what opened up the opportunity for Reynor to be as aggressive as he was. Subsolid, thank you so much for the 45-month resub, mate. Appreciate it. Thank you very much indeed. Yeah, Maxpax really kind of got disrupted in that last game, just trying to be a little bit aggressive and really not quite finding the correct opportunity to make that work for himself, unfortunately. Don't get what happened. Maxpax just took some bad fights back to back. Like, he was pushing forward and he was feeling pretty confident, and then Reynor just really bounced back in a big way, and you know, you lose a bunch of Stalkers here, and then you don't quite have your tech out, and Reynor does have his army kind of teched up a little bit. The thing about the Stalkers is they're meant to trade very well effectively on the other side of the map against the Zerg force for a long time. The moment you let that kind of facade slip, then you really have trouble. Then you really run into a lot of issues, so... yeah, just you know, you get pushed across the map, the lurk goes out, your splash damage isn't quite up, you haven't bought yourself enough time. Yeah. Using the Stalker, going to ping around, Overlord will take some damage, so a few more shots coming through. Again, Queenlings, the Overlord, all continue to come about here as we have the hatchery coming into play as well. So, again, we get a lot of that coming online. That's going to take a few shots as well, so... just going to go down, Smoke Crawler cancels as we save the drone, nicely done. And thank you, Subsolar, for the 45 months on tier 2 as well, is what I didn't mention, is what I just wanted to come back to. Got you guys ready to go on the tree, the last couple of subs, we'll get that up after this game. We're all going to activate, going to chase a drone down for a couple of moments as well, just going to try and get something done there. Oracle doing its thing, picking off some drones, forcing Evo Chambers, just trying to be as much of a disruption as we can be for the moment, so doing everything that we can for now. Queen gonna be there, push the Oracle back the other direction too, so gonna chase that across in a little bit of a different manner. Now they upgrade the link speed, continue to come around, so again we get all of this going through for a couple of moments, we get a lot of things settled here. As the Oracle's going to get a little bit of energy overcharge on them as well, so they're going to have the energy to continue through. Another upgrade from Reynor as well is going to play into that nice and quickly as well. And the Oracle, if your adepts continue to come about, it's just going to be seeing the, again, +1 attack and charge. Continuing through for the moment, so we bring up as much of that as possible here. So we're just going to have ourselves the couple moments of building up. Yo, the Gyron, thank you so much for resubscribing, coming in for the 45-month resub. It always amazes me how much, how many kind of long subs we get nowadays. It's, kind of crazy. Yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate it. As that person moves about as well, trying to see what else we can get up to here. What does the spray mean? Oh, I have no idea. Sorry. Well, it just says Monster Coliseum is the best. Long live Starcraft 2. Yada yada yada. Something like that, you know. That's my guess. Sentries, Archon's going to fight, a few Lings are going to be about as well. Just going to be seeing a few Zealots moving around, the 5 probes. going down on the other side. So once again, every time that Reynor is, I mean, in any sort of situation, he feels like he's constantly ready to deal damage. He's always there, ready to put some damage out on the other side. And, yeah, actually, that's not a surprise, but I'm impressed by his ability to kind of keep on fighting damage even while Maxpax is very much so kind of being very aggressive himself, right? So Pros going down, 8 melee coming up, plus 2 melee, and the roach speed coming online as well, so we get all of that coming about. Meter's on the way, gonna make this a very harassment-focused game now from Reynor, so get that set up. Okay, BRB, 1 sec. Sorry, I just heard something, but Helen's just home, so. Alright, sorry about that. We are here with Ling Roach pushing through the oracles. Gonna come about as well. As you see, a couple storms going down defensively. This map will allow you to hold on for quite some time. That's why the mutas are quite nice, because on this map, the mutalist could definitely kind of pull you apart, even though it's a very defensible map, right? Mutas always have that sort of potential kind of to them, so I do think that's a nice little possible addition here, as we just have and continuing to settle down. Just gonna have ourselves the countdown coming about as well. So we will see a hive. We will see some further tech continue to come into play. Look at coming through. Hive is on the way up. Just gonna see ourselves a Feeling's gonna get caught in that stasis ward, so stasis will get picked away at. As the Lings come over, a couple of Archons continue to morph in. I think the army of Maxpax looking good enough to absolutely be able to just stay contesting here where necessary, so it doesn't look like that's going to be too much of an issue. Muta's going to keep flying through. There's a couple Phoenix out, but obviously Mutas will be consistently trying to push the issue in terms of how much they can do, how annoying they can be, trying to get things done nice and quickly here. Just going to be seeing 6 more probes going down, so they definitely are finding some damage, definitely seeing some success. Thank you so much, Illyria. Illyria 77, most more likely than Illyria. Illyria 77. Thank you so much for the 2-month resub on the Prime. Much appreciated. Thank you so much for supporting. Thank you, thank you. And 11 probes going down. And this Reynor seems to be kind of heading straight into the lurker stage now, so doesn't seem to be kind of hanging around on the Mutalisks anymore. Seems to be quite happy to trade those and just, like I say, get to the next point of this game instead, so that's where Reynor will begin to get to. Heading in that direction. Ling's going to come running about. Just going to go after those couple of zealots for a few moments as well, so they will also chase straight through here. Just going to fly in. Pylon coming down into position. Let's just continue to move about. Still just a few of them, even now, Getting some worker kills, right? So continue to add that up. Big warp into the main base as the Zealots coming there. They're going to charge straight forward into this mineral line, so they'll see what they can get up to as they fire straight away. And the Archon's going to get there. Good storm going down as well. Across those lurkers, so that's going to hurt for a little bit as well. As another Oracle Revelation goes down too, so we're going to drop that Oracle Revelation into position. The lurker's still ready to strike, if at all possible. We'll see again, King's Cove allowing you to be very defendable. What's interesting is that Maxpax is not taking the forward base, he took kind of the southern base. He doesn't want to kind of defend forwards, wants to defend a little bit off to the side still. Keep an eye on that. We've seen that Stay Sword catching a lurker and a few roaches once again, so little bits of damage still being done as the storm comes down one more time. We've got ourselves the Tempest coming through, the Zealots and the Mothership all coming online as well. Bring that into play. Again, Lurker's just pinging away and doing a little bit more for the moment. Taking away this Nexus, I mean, Maxpax basically is forced to deal with this. He does have Tempest out, just not too many of them just yet. Those Tempers are getting there. Lings are going to run through. The Storm is going to be good to hit those Lings. Roaches are going to be forced back as well. So that little squadron of the army gets cleaned up very easily. Now we're going to have everything else moving across. And a couple more shots coming about. The Mothership coming over, plus 2 air weapons is on the way through. 9 Hydras continue in production as well, so we got all those Hydras continuing out. The Lurkers is going to get burrowed up. Seeing the Archon still there to pick away through those. They will not last very long at all. Lurkers repositioning now, actually once again still in range of this base, constantly being a threat, constantly being a danger to this situation on the side of Reynor. He's really pushing the issue with these now. And Maxpax hold them off, and if he holds them off, what sort of position are we going to end up in? As we do have our Tempest still moving about here. Just going to be having the Lurkers getting forced back a little bit, so we lose this forward base. Maybe this is part of the reason why you didn't want to take that forward base initially as well, and why you can't hold on to it. Maybe it is really better just to take the base off to the side to begin with instead. That's not too crazy of a concept for the end of the day here. The Tempest shots, Changeling going down, so we're going to see that falling off as well, just slightly. A lot of Tempest. I mean, we definitely have an answer to the Lurkers. It's just kind of cleaning them up quickly enough a lot of the time here is maybe going to be the bigger question mark. Plus, missiles is on the way. There's more Lurkers still coming out. Reynor getting some Niduses ready to go too. Not a bad choice, right? Because you can definitely also, if those Nidus networks get around the map and really put a lot of pressure on. So, Niduses will give you some counter-attacking options here. Will give you some opportunities. Gonna see a little Revelation coming down, a little bit more being done. Again, the Hydras, the Roaches, the Infest is moving a little bit out as well. And plus 3 missiles continue to come in just for now as Tempest will step forward. Double Nidus in the main base. We got units here. I think both of those go down if we actually start fighting them, which we do now. We stopped for a second, which makes it close, but still good enough for Maxpax defensively. So they don't go down, but obviously that's something that you now have to kind of stay on top of, right? That's consistently going to happen. There's a couple of these Tempests got 2 fought up, and they are going to be taking some heavy hits and some losses there for Maxpax as well, as this game continues to just stretch out in multiple different directions at this point in time. Rest of that army moves about one more time here. A few Tempests coming about, we get that on the way. We're going to see this army here. Actually, now these units might be in some trouble. There's going to be a Nidus there that we can retreat with if we need to, though. Actually, now we get rid of the Nidus network, so maybe that retreat option is cut off. Maxpax is kind of surrounded in. The Lurkers trying to find their chance to move forward as well, and they will do that right now as this force tries to stay getting out of there. I mean, Maxpax more or less scrambles out of trouble. That was a very dangerous situation. You could see where things were potentially going to look very scary. Cannons continue to fire away too, so they're going to do everything they can to continue by. Again, kindness plating coming up at the moment. We get that on the way. Carriers and High Templars all building up as well. $14 new lurkers. Kind of crazy just how lurker heavy this is ending up being, right? Maxpax's army's good. It's going to be interesting to see that Reynor obviously does not feel like he can do anything else but kind of rebuild more of the same. I think the problem is we're starting to see that Maxpax is able to just withstand these attempts. And if he can keep withstanding those attempts, he ends up in overall very good positions. I'm just going to see the Tempests and the Archons, the High Templars and the Immortals moving through. The couple of lurkers will take some shots. And back into that Nidus network, so just going to hide away there. The Archons continue to chase through. Get rid of the Nidus as the Mothership stays overhead as well. Continue to see what else is up. You can see those carriers starting to fight. A Hydra Dash 4 going to go after those carriers. Not going to succeed in too much there, as the carriers for the moment at least do get out of there unscathed. A couple more storms coming down, as we do have, again, this push back happening. We'll look as burrow up over on that right-hand side. Of course, there's a map with a lot of bases available to you, so we've got a long time here, likely, where we can kind of just set up and... yeah, or we can just set up and let things play out. Because there's going to be bases for days. I mean, 8 Ultras on the way now. Reynor going to try and remax with those. Working count 69 to 67, so it's not like we've got a ton of economy. It's not like we've got endless amounts of money on either side of this. That is not the case in the slightest. Spine Crawler shots coming through, a little bit of damage being dealt there straight away. I'm just going to be seeing this Protoss army getting a lot more aggressive now. It was all about Reynor taking positions and Maxpax having to figure out the lurker spots and so on before, but now it is Maxpax much more taking control of this. He's going to Mothership recall into his opponent's natural, going to take down a bunch of tech as he goes, so Maxpax is actually able to do a lot right here. Success coming through from him as, man, that is a major play just straight up into his opponent's base. Those Fusells continue to nibble about, and they're going to put some work in as well. Do have the Ultras still going through, putting in a little bit more effort as well. Recall now going to get us out of there and trying to evacuate a little bit further as the Immortal and the High Templar continues to set up a moment. New Parasite on the way, a couple of Vipers continue through. Vipers, Neural Parasite, all that coming about right here. So again, we get this on the go. With the big army fight here, we're actually going to land a Fungal as the Ultras are going to close in from both sides. I think Maxpax's army is clearly just strong enough to kind of sustain through this anyway, though, and it's going to be GG. We're going to go to 1-1, and we are going to tie up here in this best of 3. So we get tied up in what I think is the most important game of this group. And, yeah, so far I think it's fair to say that is kind of coming true as well, with them going to 1-1. Definitely could be tomorrow when we finish this group out. We look back at this and say, yeah, well, this is exactly where we This is exactly where we got to when it came to, figuring out the first place and so on. This really is that important of a matchup already here on the first day of Group B of the Masters Coliseum. We'll take a moment, guys, and we'll settle in. Ultra Love gonna be our map. Yeah, game 3 coming through. A couple of moments. Get that set up. Get that underway. What's my opinion on late game PvZ balance? Bro, you're asking a freaking Starcraft 2 caster who doesn't really like ZVP that much. I have no idea. It seems fine to me. The game's honestly okay. The players have a much more in-depth opinion. I honestly, like, PvZ is just, to me, like, I feel it's very difficult to understand late game PvZ a lot of the time because it's so map dependent, it's so situation dependent. I feel so many times I see like lurker armies that just you can't stop them, right? Like the lurker armies just don't get stopped even though the Protoss seems to have a lot of the things they need. And then other times it's like, well, the Protoss is able to just fight through. Like I feel like late game PvZ is so much about composition and how you engage that it's very difficult to make a broad claim balance-wise about it from a viewer's perspective because there's just such a broad kind of outcome of results basically from how those fights go and everything. So yeah. Are these best of 3? Yes, everything is best of 3 in this event. Everything is best of 3. Will we ever learn if Maxpax isn't an AI? No. He'll forever just be known as the AI man. Hopefully someday. Hopefully someday. As we get set up. Gas and pool coming through, a couple of drones coming about as well, so we get all of that on the go here for the moment. Set just for a little bit. Why do I think Maxpax doesn't go to offline tournaments or show his face? I have no idea. I'm sure there's a very personal reason for it. Could be an abundance of things. There's no point guessing, is there? Whatever reason he has, it's obviously a very good one, because he could be winning thousands upon thousands of dollars if he traveled. And he would, yeah, I mean, he's got to be good enough reason to tell all the tournament organizers he can't do it as well, because otherwise he'd just not be allowed to play. So... no point speculating at this point. If we ever find out, we'll find out, you know? Okay, coming through, Stargate coming up. The start of this one looking pretty regulated. Nothing too crazy just yet, I would say. And kind of going as we think it should so far. That's going to come around. Making its way about for a little bit as well. See how this first little bit of harassment goes as we get set up. I'm just going to try and shade through. Just going to move across there for a second or so. You have the couple of devs still moving around, link speed coming up as well. Sorry guys, bless me, I'm sneezing for a second. Had to mute up. Let's do have our Oracle is going to poke around a little bit. It's going to get turned back the other direction for a few moments. Again, the Twilight Council Forge and Gateway all coming up from Maxpax as well. Nexus continuing through as well. Let's bring this into play. So far, so good. The Oracle activating, a couple of queens are going to get there. Oracle will take a few more shots. Oracle going to fight to get rid of a couple of units. State's World going down. He's going to catch a drone as well. As the Twilight Council comes in, the extra gates coming about, the drones and the road drawer and the Evo Chamber as well continue to come up for the moment. Get a lot of that underway. Some things and the drones and everything else coming through too. Steps and the Queen's going to go back and forth with each other, so they're going to fire it up a little bit, try and get a little bit feisty. For now. He's actually having a great run by here. Already 8 probes going down, something that Reynor was not able to do as much in the last game. Was definitely shut down a lot more in those some of those plays, so seeing a little bit more success with it here is a big plus. Big plus. Well, the dev's going to threaten the Shade through once again, see if they can get anywhere. See if there's anything in particular that they can find for themselves. So far, it's not really, but we'll keep on trying for a little bit at least. See those lanes going to run up and get to the front once again, so I'm just going to have to recall away, try and stay out of, stay out of the way of going down at least. Definitely not an ideal situation so far. We do have the Oracle going to come back over in this direction to see what else it can find as we come back across over here. So we have a few Stalkers still gathering together as well. Let's do attack charge, both being built up at the moment, so we get that coming through. Let's do have our new gates going to continue to stay up here as well. It's going to be having the Stalker's going to blink forward because his sword as Maxpax tries to play defense. He took a lot of damage here early, so he really does need to try and recover a little bit right now. Our Stalker's come across. The Stalker's catching a few more lings, just going to pick those off, clean those out. That's going to be a nice little cleanup there towards the end. A nice little grab at all that. A little bit of a jump forward, just going to move through there, just going to be seeing our Stalkers, High Templars gathering up. We've got to defend against these Lurkers now. It's definitely going to be one of those scary phases of the game once more, right? So, got to be a little bit cautious here as we set up. Going to be continuing to move across for a little bit as you have obviously those Lurkers really putting a bit of a crushing position on this right now. This is going to make it very difficult to, well, yeah, do much else about, to be honest. This is not exactly ideal, to say the least, so not looking great at the moment. Do have our Lurkers obviously just continue to crush into this. Maxpax really going to struggle, I think, to do much about this right now. Like, I think this is a really difficult spot to kind of tear yourself out of, honestly. So yeah, I do think this is going to become a little bit more just continuously problematic for him. Don't really know what we do here, to be honest, as this base goes down. We've got the base on the other side, which is something at the very least, so we got kind of that going on. Like I say, I'm not sure if that's really going to be good enough at the end of the day anyway, right? Like, I just do not think this is looking to be the beautiful setup that we kind of want this to be right now, unfortunately. As we see now, Lurker's still setting up, still trying to push forward a little, trying to get in some positions. We've seen the mothership going down as well. I mean, Reynor able to keep on pushing through. Definitely an army. These Lurkers definitely kind of doing their thing this time around. Definitely getting enough done, I would say, as another storm comes down on the Hydras and the Queens. Stalker's still gathering up. I mean, probes just keep dropping. Maxpax's position is pretty rough. I mean, Reynor does not have a ton of drones or anything either. As we do have, and continue to settle down for a little bit at least. So I mean, we got some hope of this maybe turning about a bit. But I really feel like I'm holding on to hope that's not really that at the moment, to be honest. So does not feel great. Does not feel ideal. I think we're going to be rounding this one out sooner rather than later, to be honest. I'm just going to come across, just going to come running through. A couple storms going down still. Mortal's going to be there to try and help out. And then those Queens are going to be here. They're going to try and do full extra themselves. There's really not much else to add on to this, guys. I am struggling to tell you guys what to be excited over. I think this one is, like I say, absolutely coming to a close. Tempest coming around. Just gonna see those move about a little bit further as well. I mean, as Maxpax holds on, he does have the bottom right base. There are portions of this which look as though maybe, just maybe, there is still a little bit of hope to be had. maybe I'm getting a little ahead of myself still by saying that this is definitely decided. It felt like very good for Reynor. Like I said at one point, I guess Reynor's economy was not the best either. That's definitely having, you know, something of an impact here that he's not being able to just kind of come through and close out already, I would say. We'll have a couple of observers. I'm gonna go moving across, a couple of stalk shots coming around that side as well, see what they can do. Things gonna fight. We're gonna fire back the other direction for a couple of moments. Then you come this other way. Now we drop a load into the main bases. Reynor definitely getting to this point where he clearly just wants to kind of clean this up. Clearly just wants to get his opponent pushed back and just kind of be done with this whole situation, I would say. Definitely getting to that point where we're making plays to try and end this. Does not want this to, like I say, kind of draw on out too heavily. Can avoid that, then great. I'm just going to dash forward, trying to fight the Tempest. Obviously, Maxpax's main base gets broken down. We are going to try to make something happen kind of over on the edge during this. On the bottom right side, there's a little bit of action going on too, so a little bit of something there. Nothing too crazy, I'm going to say. I mean, looks as though that base stayed alive. Obviously, the main being ransacked is seemingly the bigger issue at the moment. Step forward once again. Here gonna come the lurkers, just gonna come running straight through. They try to clean straight up. Just gonna attack into this because it's gonna be seen the Corrupt is gonna be there as well as we continue to fight back in the other direction. Corrupt is going to get pushed back. 12 probes going down. Maxpax definitely still struggling to reassemble himself in this game. Fortunately, at the moment, this is getting a little bit too out of hand, I think. I think this game has definitely been taking some rough turns for Maxpax recently, as Reynor does look as though he's going to be getting this series to go his way. Couple of shots coming about, so we fire a few hits the other direction. Just going to be seeing the lurkers going to go retreating for the moment. I mean, Reynor has been very systematic about this, breaking forward a little bit, seeing some success, falling back, not rushing. He's got bases up of his own. Take a few moments here as we settle back down. Maybe having the Tempest ready to fire away. A few more shots coming out of those. There's a lot of lurkers over here. The problem is Reynor's army is still not exactly ideal for kind of what's going on. Like, it's not designed to really be able to kind of fight against a lot of these positions in these armies, so there's a little bit of weirdness about this right now as we just have the Corruptors and the Viper coming about. Just going to make their way over here already. Lurkers keep moving through. Just gonna have ourselves the Corruptors and the Hydras continuing out as well to keep on protecting this here. So doing what we can for a moment or so. And I think at the end of the day we're gonna have ourselves a absolutely a Reynor victory. I mean, it's hard to make this exciting. Maxpax is kind of hanging on in there, but not really for much reason outside of just trying not to die. I don't think he's got anything on the way up that's gonna be like, aha, well there we go. You know, there's the turnaround, there's the bounce back. I just don't think that's happening at all, unfortunately, so... Yeah, this is probably just Maxpax slowly down. I mean, he's down at one base now. He's basically hoping that his opponent just kind of completely screws this up and decides to just go, you know, crazy into him, and then you just sort of counterattack and win. I mean, if that happens, then I'm going to be amazed. That should never, ever happen here. But alas, here we are. Maxpax will pray for it and hope that he can somehow finally just... Yeah, one of the later GG times Maxpax has probably ever done, honestly. He's not really someone that stays in the game a lot of the time. So I am genuinely a little bit surprised that he's still in this one. Tempest coming up, Corruptors are still very much so on their way. See those lurkers coming through. Actually can get stormed again, so a couple of shots coming off from those for a moment. It's going to be seen. I mean, Maxpax will try and make this happen, but I mean, you're really talking about a one-base situation here. There's not much else to say, guys. I would love it if we somehow, some way, found a way. Just, not believing it. I'm not seeing it. I'm not believing it. GG gets called. Reynor takes it. And that is going to be that. Hey, look at me. I turned this music off before it played. Hey, see, Wardy can do it. I'm getting better, guys. I'm getting better. We'll be seeing more of Reynor tomorrow. As he'll be taking on Rogue and Skillous. Definitely puts us in a position then where, you know, Reynor's in the most comfortable spot. Maxpax is still okay. Let's see what Skillous and Rogue can do. The winner of Skillous and Rogue in the matchup coming up next is going to really determine who has the better chance. So yeah. Guys, I'm going to be a moment while some highlights and stuff play out. We'll get going very soon with more Starcraft 2. Thanks for joining us today. Got one more best of 3 coming up in the Coliseum ASAP. welcome back everyone. Thank you for a little bit of a break as we get ready for Skillous and Rogue to round out the day here. So we'll be getting this kicked off in just a few. It's ready to rumble. I have some people to add to the tree, so thank you so much to the following. Subsolar, Skrullich, the Gyron, and Illyria 77. Welcome to the tree. That is not the best way to show your guys' names off, but I promise that let me go put you guys in the tree. BRB. All right. Yeah, cool. We're gonna get into Skillous Rogue here in just a few moments, guys. As you can see, we should be getting going shortly. We've got the preview match. Hopefully, just a few minutes, and we'll get this on the way. Kick this off. Awesome. How's everyone doing today? Let me know what's up in the chat. Let me know how we're all feeling. See you guys. As we make our way through these games. Yeah, after this, I don't have anything else planned after this, guys, because I'm actually going to be going to cast a few of my Christmas Day games after this, so that's going to be what I'm doing with my day. So, yeah. But I appreciate just a shorter stream. It's going to be like that for the Masters Coliseum days a lot of the time. It's hard to make a longer stream out of 3 best of 3s, basically. So yeah, we'll be having some shorter streams here and there, most likely. Here are our players, Skillous and Rogue. Rogue playing his first match of the tournament. Skillous lost 1-2 against Maxpax already, unfortunately, so saw that. So he's trying to play a bit of recovery and catch up already. Exactly ideal. But still maybe some chances, especially if he feels good in his PvZ against against Reynor, perhaps. I mean, I'm not saying that that's going to be easy after Reynor got it done against Maxpax, but maybe if Skillous is feeling confident, then there's no reason to count that possibility out just yet, right? So we're going to get straight into this, guys, and let's go cast some games of Starcraft 2. Thank you for joining us, as we have got ourselves Skillous and Rogue best of 3 starting up right now. Final matchup of the day for us. Get that ready to go. Skillous in the bottom left and Rogue is in the top right-hand side. Like I say, this is an important series, because if either of these really want a solid chance of getting out of the group, you very likely have to win right here. Otherwise, you're going to start already relying on upsets and potentially other results to help you out. So, yeah, I think this is going to be a big match right now for both these guys. Hatch drone next coming up. We got ourselves settled in here for a couple of moments. Just going to get that going straight away. Max is coming through. Who is going to come out on top? I actually love this series. Both these guys came from the global qualifier, if I'm not mistaken, like the last chance qualifier, essentially. So yeah, I actually think both these guys have a pretty fun, kind of have similar stories coming into the event. Definitely both players, I think, can do very well for themselves. They're just genuinely, I think, a very fun series that we got going on here. Kind of would like to see them both do well, but it's just such a difficult group when you've got Maxpax and Reynor in here as well. Like I say, definitely going to need some upsets if you want to advance in the first place, and even more so now from Skillous' point of view, where he already lost to Maxpax. And like I say, for Rogue, it's like if you lose this, then you got to go in tomorrow and probably find 2 upsets to be able to advance out of this group as well. So, yeah, it really is not an easy situation to be in right now. This match has so much importance strung to it. Well, guys, it's Chrono boosting along. We do have our Link Speed coming about, Queen coming over, and get settled in for a couple of moments. Just going to have the Stargate and the probes coming about as well. All that continues into action. A couple of devs is going to go moving about themselves. And the Overlord nearby going to be keeping track of what's going on as well, so also just trying to see what else we are having happen. Feeling's going to catch the Adepts, but the Adepts both shade away. One of them looked as though it was about to die there, but it actually does get away, in fact, so they'll escape. A couple Lings going to go in. The Adept and the Pylon will take a few shots. We've seen the Overlord going down as well, so we can clean that up as Skillous. A little bit less information on the map available then as Rogue, so you get a little bit of info taken away from you there. A couple of Adepts chasing those Lings around as well. You can try and see what else, if anything, they can do the next couple of moments. They're gonna get here. Teletron's going down. Just gonna be seeing the Lings coming over for the moment. It's gonna continue through. Rogue has been actually very similar to Reynor recently in terms of he's been very harassment heavy with his PvZ. He's been really doing a lot very quickly with the Lings and trying to get across into positions with them a lot of the time, and really kind of focusing on a lot of these counterattacks. So I expect that to be a big factor as we move through these games as well. Evo Chamber Hydrogen continue to come up. Ling's still trying to hit the front there. Stalkers will take a little bit of damage as well. I mean, again, the Hydra speed on the way up. Rogue only on the 68 drone, so we'll see how that goes. I think the Stalker's moving about. Skillous would kind of be at that stage where he might want to try and move around a little bit more and be a little bit aggressive, but not doing much of anything just yet. Now just Lings and all the rest coming back over. See, these other Stalkers now starting to push up and put a little bit of pressure on right now. It's going to be seeing the Lane Hydra Queen going to come across as well. I'm just taking some damage. Queen's taking some shots. And again, continue back and forth just for the moment here. Let's see how these Stalkers would love to get as much as possible right now. You need to do it before the Hydras kind of get into too heavy a number to really compete against it all. The Stalkers continue to blink backwards. Again, 1 moment's there. To continue to make some moves. The Stalker's going to step up as well, chasing down the Hydras and the Queens just a little further. Again, we continue to move about just for now as the Stalker's pulling back a little bit. Stalker's will continue to trade. Just going to be going back and forth once again. The whole squad readying up right now as we just come through. I'm just going to be taking a little bit more damage. Just going to continue through with these Stalkers. I mean, drones going down as well. It's getting a little bit more serious right here. We might have to start doing something about this, right? This is, you know, if you don't stop this soon as Rogue, this is going to be completely out of hand. And apparently it is just too far out of hand anyway. It's going to be GG right then and there. So, when GG gets called, that will be that. And we will take a moment or two to reset ourselves now for another game here on this one. Alright, well, we're gonna go into game number 2. The music's okay. I've given up on the music, guys. I gave up on it today. It's already too late. No going back. Oh, we take a couple of moments here and get set up. Just gonna have ourselves the probe coming across the map for a couple of moments. Just get ourselves into position for the first little bit. Just to start this off, I'm just going to be having the drone and the probe going to chase each other around for a couple of moments, so a little bit of cleanup going on over there. We having ourselves the Stargate coming up as the choice from Skillous. He's going to get that on the way. Up a game in this series, definitely potential for him to bound on through. A little moving about, a depth going to come in through the ground for a little bit here, so and just making our way over for a few moments. Pro's going to fight back, Lings will take some nibbles, so we're able to go back the other way for now at least, and again playing a little bit of cleanup on this so far. We've seen a couple of depths that you do go for more workers as well, so damage being done. Just going to be seeing those adepts going to shade away in the end. They're just going to back it up. They're going to get out of there. We do have ourselves the Oracle and the Warp Gate continue to come by as well, so we continue to bring this through. And the Ling's going to show up again, so they're going to come through the bottom side again, looking to see if there's anything exciting that they can maybe make happen for a little bit. I'd really be surprised if too much comes of this. I think this is one of those moments where, yeah, we're throwing some harassment out there, but the chance of this really going anywhere is pretty minimal, to say the least. And we do have a couple Oracles going to join back up together. Just going to go after those Lings. The Ling's going to get chased around too for the moment. Council and Forge both continue to build onwards. The Nexus is coming online as well, so again, a couple of things that we continue to set up toward. Thrones Queen moving about, Twilight Council, Forge, Gateways coming about as well. We get all of that online. Means the Ling's going to actually jump onto those Adepts. The Adept's going to take some damage as well, so we do see a few shots coming out from there. Reasonable damage being done, to be honest. The Oracles dive back through, and a few of those drones will now begin to drop down, making 5 workers dropping in total. A +1 on that blink coming up on the side of Skillous. Again, with all those workers going down, there's got to be a little bit of concern here, right? Some serious damage being dealt. Bro keeps taking damage like that, he's just not going to get to play this game out at all, right? And that is worst case scenario. You basically don't get to play Reynor shows up with the Blink Stalkers and just harasses into you and does extremely well. It is extremely effective. I mean, we are absolutely on the way to that happening right now if we don't do something about this. So, not exactly looking great, to say the least. Stalker's going to gather up. Step through the Lings, actually at least finding something on the counterattack, but it is really going to be about these Stalkers on the other side of the map and what they can get done over the next few moments, which I think is honestly going to be quite a lot. So, yeah, you know, you guys tell me what we think is about to happen here. Two Stalkers gathering up as well. Stalkers coming about. A couple more creep tumors will go down. Oracle's still hanging around in the skies. We've seen that Ling is still chasing those Stalkers, going to get pushed back a little further here, as we do have the Ling of the Hydra is going to move back across also. You see the ship +2 attack and +1 charge all on the way in. Skillous just maintaining the supply lead, his upgrade already in place as well. There's a lot of reasons why this looks very good for Skillous right off the bat, to be honest. As the Stalkers come back around. We've seen the Stalkers still coming about as well. See that Ling Hydra still gathering up for the moment as we settle this down. Let's see how our Hydras continue to come through, continue to fight. For a little bit, so again, some more damage being done as the mothership here as well, going to help to support this now as well. Just going to get that going. Things still moving about, just going to see what they can achieve as they keep coming over. Just going to see the rest of the Lings running in. They're going to try and get set up as well. A nice little stage sword going to catch is, most importantly for Skillous, this is all about just maintaining control, right? If you can stop your opponent from being able to deal damage with those run-bys, you're going to take away one of his main tools of dealing damage away, right? So, if you're going to be able to do that, then that would be really ideal. Focus on the mothership, continue to linger around over on that left-hand side, seeing where they can get to, seeing if there's anything specific they can get done. A couple of Stalkers blinking around in an odd direction. Obviously, the Lurkers are going to become very difficult for Skillous to attack in, but numbers-wise, Skillous is absolutely killing it here. He is in such a good spot. Hard to really imagine that this is going to go too wrong for him, but I mean, run-bys like that, exactly what I was on about before. It was important that Skillous was defending well, because you don't want to give your opponent routes back into this game, and that's exactly what that does. 17 drones go down, but he's also, 9 probes go down, 11 now. He's actually killing a lot of drones as well, though, so it's not like Skillous is taking damage and not doing anything himself. He's still in a fantastic spot at the end of the day. And a very comfortable place so far. Hydra Lurker continues to gather around. Just going to see the Stalkers, Mothership, and Carrier coming across as well. Going to bring that straight through as the Hydras and the Lurkers continue to get settled in. Carriers make their way across just for the moment. Revelation comes in, so again, a bit more being done right now. Carrier, Stalkers, and the Mothership all gathering together. I do have our Lings just going to run in over here. Pylon going to take some damage. Time War coming down. We are going to see Queens and Lurkers just going to get jumped on a little bit. We'll continue to come over for a little bit as well, making our way around. Just going to be seeing the Mothership and the Carriers continue to fight. Stalkers pinging away too, as we take a couple of moments. I mean, we dropped some Storms in, but Rogue just does not have the numbers to survive through this in the slightest. It's going to be a GG. This one did really not take too long at all. Skillous showing up and absolutely dominating, quite frankly, as he gets the win on that one. That's very, very bad for Rogue. Like I say, that's going to be very good for Skillous, who, I mean, that's an amazing win. I'm just going to come out there and say that again. That is a very, very solid win for Skillous. It puts him into such a good spot in this group. He's going to be extremely happy about that, I'm sure of it. So, yeah, I'm sure that's going to be a big one. Yeah, he should be very pleased with where he ends up with after the day. And he took a map off of Maxpax as well. So in a lot of tiebreaker situations, that will help him out too. So there's definitely that you can also be pretty happy about. So another little note, maybe, little kind of like asterisk next to him, where it's like, if this comes down to tiebreakers, he's so far done pretty much the best he can without having gone 2-0 on the first day, right? So yeah, like I say, don't hate where Skillous has put himself on day number 1 of the WardiTV of the Master Coliseum Group B. That's it for the day, guys. There's literally no more Starcraft coming up. That is just it. They're going to do some highlights, and that will be our day. So I'll let the highlights play out, but not really much else for me to say. I'm going to be back tomorrow with more Masters Coliseum. Do not love that this is a yeah, I mean, I'm just going to say I do not love, obviously, that this is such a short set of days, but there's really nothing else I can do about it. I can complain all I like. It's not going to change anything. So, yeah, TLDR, none of that matters. And we should just get on with the day. So, thank you so much for joining us, guys. I'll let these highlights play out, and I'm just going to go and get to the other stuff I got to do today. So I'm not going to hang around or anything. You guys have a good one. I'll host someone up when when the highlights are done. Send you on the way. The ad's already playing, so I'll be hosting ASAP. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate you all. You have a great day. I'll see you guys tomorrow for more Masters Coliseum.